Where's this headed? What's the end game here? Liberals leave, conservatives will flood the doors. Y'all go there and live how you want. We'll stay here and live how we want. Fear, division, the self-destruction of what was once the greatest country in the world. I recently wrote a letter to the editor of my local newspaper, and I thought, you know what, I'll just come on here and I'll read my letter to y'all. A message to my representatives and fellow citizen, for peace sake. My husband and I are planning to make our final home purchase within the year. Our planned purchase last fall was delayed when I was laid off from an amazing job due to a poor economy, circumstances a successful and cooperative-minded government could have prevented. So far, we haven't found many options that will meet our intended home and land use needs. Opening our search to South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee would provide a plethora of ideal properties to choose from. The reason we could buy so much more for our dollar in any of these states is because apparently we're not the only ones who would rather live in Western North Carolina. I'm a proud Tar Heel baby. I sing about morning glories to cheer myself up. I once flew a bag of Bojangles, chicken and biscuits all the way to Bismarck, North Dakota. North Carolina has always been my home. My people are buried in her soil, and she has always provided the nourishment that feeds my soul. Please do not undervalue the sincerity and heartbreak with which I share my considerations to abandon my home. If the trend of our state government choosing to blindly follow the leader continues, I will be among a mass exodus, and we know that's going to include a lot of profitable businesses. Where's this headed? What's the end game here? Liberals leave, conservatives will flood the doors. Y'all go there and live how you want. We'll stay here and live how we want. Fear, division, the self-destruction of what was once the greatest country in the world. What's the end game? Because if it's live like we want to live or leave and we're okay with either option, I hope you've thought about the end game. A society that functions by removing what it doesn't like never becomes a successful functioning society. It simply continues identifying and removing different in an infinite cycle until it eventually implodes on itself, as is the inevitable impending destiny of anything without the strength to bend in the wind. Please think back to a time in your life before the word politics. Think of the morals, the values, the lessons our parents taught us when we were littles. I'm convinced that very many are acting on suspicion or belief that the other side wants to make us do this or take away our right to that. And in response, they're choosing a strong offense as the best defense. They're putting upon the other side exactly what they're trying to protect themselves from. None of us always knows exactly what's right for our own selves. How can anyone be so presumptuous as to think they know what is exactly right for someone else, much less that they're better aware of it than the person whose thoughts and deeds they're attempting to change? I shouldn't be allowed to make anyone have an abortion. Not even if they've given birth to a dozen other children already, nor even if every one of those children were born drug addicted and put up for adoption. You shouldn't be allowed to prevent anyone from having an abortion, or for that matter, any other FDA-approved and physician-prescribed medical procedure. Full stop. How Americans act, think, feel, what we can read, how to raise our kids, it is not and has never been okay for our government to control these things. How much have you already tolerated against your better judgment for the sake of the cause or the greater good? How many times have you already stepped across and then redrawn your line in the sand? History has taught us the tragedies of waiting too long to stop and find a better path. It may validate your personal belief to surround yourself with only others who feel as you do. To remain in the inner circle, you may easily bear the membership fee of exclusion and intolerance. Initially. But you have to know that as with a drug dealer, a power pusher's price will continue to rise quickly, exponentially, until it is no longer affordable. Please, for the love of a united nation and a home state so many proudly claim or wish they could, stop. And think for just a few minutes about the end game. If you are one of many making questionable choices, whether you're motivated by what you believe to be the greater good or you fear being cast out of the inner circle, please stop. And choose to work cooperatively with those you oppose. Let us find a better way together.
It's occurred to me this is a good example of maybe misunderstanding folks' intent. I'm looking at this video and I'm realizing I've got a blue shirt on, and you guys might be thinking, we know why she wore blue. We understand her message. We know which side she's on. That's why she wore blue. Y'all, if you're thinking it, I understand. Truth be told, I did my face this morning. I decided I didn't want to go with the yellow and the green, so I put some blue on. And after I'd put some blue on my eyes, I decided I'd put a blue shirt on. Had nothing to do with political parties or affiliates, regardless of the fact that it probably did look that way.
Whoopsies. Y'all, I don't know a lot about a lot. Y'all, I don't know much about much. I know a little bit about a lot, though, and I know a little bit about a lot, but I don't know much about it.